crucified over 3,000 folk. This is what Romans did to, crucifixion was a lynching of revolutionaries to quell disturbances. And, so I mean, why, why not look at the question, look at the text and say, somebody's ideology was there, and that's why Constantine got together these bishops to put together all the books that exonerated Rome. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I mean, hey, can we read between the lines? Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that could be helpful.
Okay. This is going to get us away a little bit from the books here, but we always like to ask authors who have got a good track record, if there's somebody out there watching and they want to write, could you give them some advice on how to get started?
One advice is don't try to write by yourself. In the sense that, and I have at various points gone away for a week with someone else who was writing. They had a totally different writing project, and we would, one of us would know someone who had a house that we could go to, and we'd write all day, and at meals we'd read what the other one had written. And could critique it, raise different questions, different disciplines and all. Right. But it provides for the solitariness, but at the same point, being able to get some quick feedback. Right. Secondly, is to and this is the hardest for me. So to dare to write, even if it may not fly with folk. Several of my key articles, it took 10 years before people started citing them. So maybe I was just 10 years ahead, but it does, and for me at times it gets really discouraging. What? I put this stuff out there and folk keep running with, but trust that, and if you keep putting it out there, eventually there'll be some place where it can be. But also make sure that you test out your stuff in the process of writing in various venues. Either in class, in a church group, in a community group. It doesn't. You don't have to read the article, but you can at least test out the ideas to have an idea of, are you doing something that's really going to be helpful? Right. Going to be helpful, and that gives you the courage to, in fact, keep pressing forward with some new possibilities. Good.
Were you able to find the library useful in your
because it was helpful both in doing my own articles of getting access to work, but also editing is a very tedious task of chasing down people's footnotes that weren't there, and checking, is this right? Good to have graduate students. So it's good also to have a library, like this, which does have so many resources that one can do that, and to be able to do it online is even better. And part of it is also becoming aware, which I keep getting more and more aware, that we as faculty have the responsibility to give, and I haven't done that in the last year, give y'all more titles that need to be, so that we can keep it going. But the staff has always been helpful and cooperative, in making suggestions on where to go in terms of that.
Good. Finally, what do you have in the hopper? What's coming out for you?
I'm completing 2 books. One is a Samuel reader, which is essentially a collection of articles that I've done on Samuel and a couple of new pieces. I'm doing epilogues to them in terms of methodologically. looking at some pieces where I engage feminist criticism, womanist criticism, where I do queer readings, where engaging race questions and all, and looking at, okay, so we find an African in this book. Well, I mean, like, how liberating is that? Okay, we got these women here, and feminist criticism has said that, but what's really happening in terms of how they're playing out and all. So that book is almost completed. And I'm at the point of doing the notes on a book entitled Open with Caution, The Bible, Sex, and Sexuality, arguing the heterosexism and the patriarchy and abuse of women in the biblical text around issues of sexuality, and the ways in which translators translate to hide some of sexuality from us, might suggest to us that the Bible really isn't the best place to get a healthy sexual ethic. We can understand why a patriarchal culture would say that, have deity say that you shall not covet your neighbor's wife or his field or his house or his ox or his donkey or his male or female slaves, which means the wife ain't nothing but a piece of property. We can understand how, but that may not be the best way to look at male-female relationships, and that may not be the best way to look at issues of sexuality.
Right.
And we can explore why they give this to us, but we should be cautious and not try to beat ourselves over the head with conformity, because these people that keep arguing for family values, the main family structure in the Bible is polygamy, unless you want to be a bishop. And Timothy said, you want to be a bishop, you only have one wife.
Yeah.
But if you don't, hey, go for it. And I'm not so sure that's sound advice, but what can I say?
Well, you are going to say it. Something.
That would be helpful for but I also think, and I'm not saying throw the Bible away. I'm saying engage what's there,
right?
So that when we look at why is it there are so many stories where the only time women do anything, it's having a baby for some man. Is that really the main function of women, is having babies? And why are we so excited about? Well, here's a woman in the text, but the main thing she's doing is having a baby. What's this construction of gender? What's this construction of sexuality? Is it is sex something that men do to women? And we can look at it and say, I understand why they said that, but hasn't God shown us, through sociology and psychology and medical sciences that there are different ways? Is sex really the primary function? Procreation? If so, then we better have men take sperm tests before they get marriage licenses. If you can't procreate, don't let them marry. Well, and that would also push us on the question of same-gender sex.
Well, it sounds like you're going to continue to challenge as you write.
It's I guess I was doing a Bible studies for a group of black clergy in a denomination. We're trying to decide should they bring from their white denomination. We had to introduce ourselves the first night and what gift were we bringing to the group. And I said, my gift is troubling. I said, God has made me a troubler. And that's the gift I bring to the group. And you can find out in the process whether you won't be troubled.
Well, that's a good way to end. Dr. Bailey, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for engaging me.
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you.
A lot of folks check the book out of the library.
Absolutely. Well, we've got this one on reserve. Maybe we'll put this one on reserve too.
Okay.